Started as rain, going to turn into snow. Team coverage, what you need to know to stay safe during this winter weather alert.
Developing right now, accusations of bullying at a Sylvania school and landing some students with suspensions.
And the verdict is in reaction to the conviction of a local doctor who fondled patients.
From WTVG Toledo, this is 13 ABC Action News with Diane Larson and Lee Conklin.
Rain, sleet, wind, snow, you name it. Mother Nature delivering a messy mix of wintry weather, and it is far from over yet.
Snowy night and morning in store for much of the viewing area, but how much depends on where you live. Some schools already closing for tomorrow. Our team working to get the information you need to help your family stay safe and plan ahead.
Bridget Burnett in Adrian tonight, where that community has already seen some snow.
And meteorologist Ross Ellett taking a look at how the system is affecting the evening drive.
But first, we want to go to Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschbach with a look at where that snow situation is already taking hold. Jay?
Well, much of the day it's been snowing up in Hillsdale, Michigan, northern Lenawee County, western Williams County. So where we thought the cold air would linger, we've had snow much of the day. Do want to mention we have meteorologist Ben Cathy here working the social aspect of the storm. If you have questions, comments, want to learn more about the details on what's coming, just check out our Twitter page, Facebook page, or 13abc.com. Let's get to Viper HD now as the storm system on track moving toward Dayton, eventually just west of Cleveland, moving northeasterly. Much of the day and at least most of Ohio, we've been on the warmer side of this, but notice the back edge of it. You see that swirl of white coming our way. That's the snowfall wrapping around the back side of the system. Now, live Doppler 13,000 HD is showing that transition back over to some wintry mix west of Dundee, west of Swanton. All snow now north of Adrian into Hillsdale, and that too is moving down to the south and the east. Let's give you a timeline here. Okay, rain changing to snow later on this evening. So between now and about 9 p.m., what we have is that mix changes to mainly snow. Snow likely overnight, rather windy through 6 a.m. Accumulations not huge, but enough to slow things down tomorrow. We're expecting 1 to 3 inches of snow. Tomorrow, another inch or two. That's 6 a.m. through 3 p.m. And thereafter, the snow comes to an end. Still breezy, though, into tomorrow evening. We'll update the exact snow accumulations where you live in a few minutes and the timing as well. Stay with 13 ABC.
All right, Jay, so if you are headed on the road tonight, what can you expect on the evening drive? And for that, we want to check in with meteorologist Ross Ellett on the road. Ross.
Well, right now things are looking pretty good. We are driving right along Central Avenue and heading just over 475, actually, as we come on the air right at this time. And traffic is moving a little bit slow in spots. Let's take a look at the road here. You can see right now, just with that evening commute, you have more traffic than what you typically have. But thankfully, the temperature above freezing. All that heavy rain that we had earlier today really caused a lot of ponding of water on the roads. That has really gone down. Things really are not too bad right now. And really over the last half hour, 45 minutes, it's just been a constant drizzle. Now the rain's just starting to pick up again. Although in a couple of hours, when those temperatures get back down to 32 degrees and below, then those road conditions are expected to go downhill. Keep in mind, road crews have not been able to get out and pre-treat today because the heavy rain would have washed that all away. So that's a concern for later on this evening. Right now, things are looking pretty good. Reporting live, Ross Ellett, 13 ABC Action News.
And some places in the area already seeing snow cover on the ground. It's not just a dusting. 13 ABC's Bridget Burnett continues our team coverage from Adrian, Michigan. Bridget.
We're right outside of downtown Adrian off North Main Street where you see some dense fog and we have some light drizzle coming down right now. We're just about a block away from MDOT's garage, and while we've been sitting here, I've seen just a few MDOT crews just driving back and forth, making sure those roadways are salted. And someone I spoke with from MDOT says they'll be out for the next 24 hours, just making sure those drivers are safe. Reporting live in Adrian, I'm Bridget Burnett for 13 ABC Action News.
And our team, of course, will stay on top of this winter weather alert throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. New information continuing to come in. We'll be sure to bring it to you on air and online at 13abc.com, Facebook, and Twitter.
Developing right now, some Sylvania Junior High School students under investigation today.
Accused of bullying a fellow student with disabilities at a basketball game. Those students are now suspended.
The alleged incident happened at McCord Junior High School last week. I-Team reporter Sean Haggerty live in Sylvania with what we know in the investigation. Sean?
Sylvania School is not releasing a whole lot of information about this incident. In fact, they won't tell us how many students have been suspended here from McCord as a result of this. A school spokeswoman only telling us that it's a couple, and the superintendent would not give us a number either. Now, according to a Sylvania police report, the victim says that the suspects in this case continued a pattern of bullying the victim while on school grounds. This incident happened during a basketball game here at McCord Junior High last week. I spoke with Sylvania Superintendent Scott Nelson on the phone late this afternoon. He would not get into specifics of the incident. He did say this kind of thing is not tolerated or acceptable. He says the district tries to create a place where kids feel safe. The district will not release what grades these students are in or their ages. Sylvania police are investigating, but no charges have been filed at this point yet. The superintendent says if the charges are found to be valid, the consequences will match the seriousness of the charges. We did speak with the mother briefly today of the 14-year-old alleged victim in this case. She says she doesn't want to say anything publicly yet, but will do so after criminal charges have been filed. We'll certainly keep you up to date on this case. Reporting live in Sylvania, Sean Hegarty, 13 ABC Action News.
And in Toledo, police say no charges have been filed as of yet in a case of alleged sexual assault at Toledo Christian schools earlier this month. There were reportedly 2 victims and 3 suspects, all between the ages of 15 and 17. Police say they're going to work with prosecutors to when the investigation ramps up there.
The Lucas County coroner released new details about the body found in a waterway in downtown Toledo. The coroners identified the person as Robert Wells. Police say roof workers spotted his body in Swan Creek yesterday and called 911. Police aren't saying whether there's anything suspicious about Wells' death. The coroner has yet to determine how he died.
Guilty of fondling patients during medical exams. That's the verdict for a local doctor. It came down just before noon today. 13 ABC's Alexis Means live with the update. Alexis.
Dr. Jake Heine showed no emotion when the verdict was read. The orthopedic surgeon was found guilty of groping his patients during medical exams. He mouthed, "I love you," to his family as he was taken into custody. The jury found him guilty of 2 counts of gross sexual imposition and tampering with records. The doctor had practices in Sylvania and Lambertville, Michigan. The prosecutor says the victims are pleased with the verdict.
I think they felt vindicated because all along the defense wanted to argue that they had just misperceived what had happened and they were confused about what happened. And certainly a jury coming down with 3 guilty verdicts showed them that they were right. What Dr. Heine did to them was wrong, it was criminal, it was inappropriate.
Dr. Heine will be sentenced on Friday. Reporting live, Alexis Means, 13 ABC Action News.
Police in Oregon want you to take a good look at the man you see here. Officers say he used a cloned credit card to try and buy a gift card, but the financial institution for the owner of the real card blocked that transaction. If you know who this man is, you're urged to call Oregon detectives.
It's been a staple in Toledo for more than a century.
But the old home of the Ronald McDonald House is no more. We'll tell you what's next for the property coming up. A Toledo building that stood since 1906 came crumbling down today. Crews demolished the former Ronald McDonald House of Northwest Ohio at the corner of Promedica Parkway and Monroe Street. 13 ABC's Mackenzie Keyline talked with employees on what they say was a bittersweet moment.
Within a matter of hours, the former Ronald McDonald House of Northwest Ohio knocked to the ground.
Yes, it's definitely bittersweet.
Nancy Pasjevic has worked at the Ronald McDonald House for 27 years, all but the last 2 months spent at this location.
It does bring back some sad memories, yes.
We knew that this would be a tough day for us. A lot of memories, a lot of families that have come through those doors.
After 33 years, the Ronald McDonald House moved locations across the street. The new, much larger building opening just 2 months ago. The old house was built in 1906. Most of the items inside either sold or donated before being demolished.
One of our favorite things is we kept the stained glass window that was above the front door, and that is over here and will be displayed in our conference room, which our conference room we're going to decorate in all the old pictures of the old house and some things like that, so it'll fit in great.
Moving forward, there are plans to move Promedica Boulevard to the east, where the former Ronald McDonald House once stood. The current road will then be turned into a grassy lot.
Gives our families a nice environment to be able to walk from the house to the hospital.
It's a bittersweet moment, but one that has Pasjevic looking forward to the future of the Ronald McDonald House.
We have to move with the times. We can't stand still.
In Toledo, Mackenzie Keyline, 13 ABC Action News.
And since moving into that new building right across the street, the executive director says the Ronald McDonald House has been at or near full capacity.
The old Ronald McDonald House, not the only building in Toledo coming down today. The city began tearing down this building on Bloom Street, a building considered a nuisance property. Neighbors say the spot has a long history of violence at night, and it's also across the street from Pickett Academy. So the city made this demolition that is a priority to try to make the neighborhood safer.
Still to come on Action News at 6, we're going to hear from the new Browns head coach, Hugh Jackson.
Shed some light on what the future of his roster will look like regardless of Johnny Manziel's status.
It's rain right now for most, but changing to snow rather quickly. The timing, the amount you can expect after the break.
Now, 1380Z First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Jay Berschbach.
And a good evening to you. Temperatures so close to freezing throughout the day. Thankfully, for much of northwest Ohio, we bumped into the 34 to 35 degree range, changed that freezing rain to rain. But to the northwest of us, it's been mainly snow most of the day. Check out Live Doppler 13,000 HD up in Hillsdale. 31 degrees with that light snow continuing. A little break, though, in the way of the intensity. It's taken a little bit of a letdown, but it will pick back up tonight. And temperatures here, you see how close we are in the metro area. 33 at Executive Airport, 35 Executive, 33 out at Express, and up to our north in Lambertville, it is currently 33 degrees. So a close call today, very close to what we expected from yesterday when it comes to that rain over to snow to the west and then back to snow for all of us tonight. And look at this storm wound up a well-defined area of low pressure here just to the west of Dayton, tracking east of or west of Cleveland. And as the cold air filters in behind this, anything falling out there by about 10 o'clock tonight will be all snow. So if the roads are wet right now where you live, you saw temperatures there, expect some slick roads by morning. Winter weather advisories are in effect for just about everyone near and west of I-75. This goes through tomorrow afternoon, but notice the purple or pink, that's for Lenawee and Hillsdale counties. Those are your winter storm warnings. Why the difference? Well, they got the snow throughout the day. They got more ice earlier today and additional snow falling tonight. So the totals we'll give you in a matter of minutes here will be what we have so far on the ground and what has yet to fall. Here's the forecast on Predictor by the Hour. This is 7 p.m. through 9. Notice the green areas being pushed off to the east. So by 9 o'clock, up and down I-75 and westward, it's mainly snow. Out in Port Clinton, Fremont, Tiffin, still a little rainfall hanging tough, but that'll change by about 11 p.m. So by, again, 10, 11 o'clock tonight, most areas in on the snow. The darker shades, those are more moderate bands of snow. And today, northeast winds became more northerly. That'll keep on shifting to the northwest at about 20 to 30 miles per hour overnight. Now, it is a heavy, wet snow right now. Reports already from Hillsdale, Williams County is of 3 to 5 inches. So be careful shoveling tonight and tomorrow. But back to the maps here. This is 3 a.m. Still snowing, still windy out there. More snowfall through 6 a.m. And really, the snow continues at least the first half of the day. Here's 9 o'clock. Lots of blue out there to work through. Storm system, even though it's pushing away from us, has a little extra energy on the very tail end of it. So as you can see by 3, we have a little uptick in snow intensity, but it starts to end from west to east. It is gone here between 3 and 6 p.m. Amazing what the map looks like when it's blank. Okay, our forecast for accumulations, the majority of the area, 2 to 4 inches of total snow. That's tonight and tomorrow combined. You have a little bit of a higher area along the lakeshore, 4 or more inches possible from Port Clinton, Sandusky. Also 4 or more inches, Adrian, Bryan, and as we've seen already with the snow on the ground, 6 to 8 inches for the northwestern corner of Williams County up into Hillsdale County. So 8 to 12 inches, maybe just north of the town of Hillsdale. So be aware of that. Going into mid-Michigan, they could see a foot of snow, but not for us. For tonight, your low 30, rain to snow by morning, 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. Those northeast winds become northwesterly, 15 to 30 miles per hour. For tomorrow in the Hourcast, nearly steady temperatures. There's your gusty northwest wind, an additional inch or 2 of snow here, and we're looking at dry conditions between 3 and 6, so really improving for the evening commute. An overall 2 to 5 inch snow here when you factor in all the variables tomorrow. The high 32, 29 on Friday, a nice quiet weekend in store with a high of 36 for Saturday, approaching 50 on Sunday. That's a change from the past couple of days. A batch of warm air moves in, so a little taste of spring again, and 38 degrees for Monday, 39 Tuesday, and more of that rain, more mild air next Wednesday, the high 47.
And we should note that the Turnpike has instituted a travel ban from the Indiana line to Toledo for high-profile vehicles. Cars are okay.
Semis and-
Right.
Yeah.
Starting from
wind.
6 tonight till 6 tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's the wind and the snow, and again, it's not several inches overnight, it's just a couple inches, but it's the timing. Still snowing for the morning drive, so you can see the schools already calling in saying, maybe we should just take a day off.
All right. Okay, Jay, thanks.
Okay.
Toledo police took over 1,000 illegal guns off the streets last year.
Now the 13 ABC I-Team looking into how they got here in the first place. I-Team reporter Sean Haggerty explains what he's found.
Getting these weapons off the street is not about numbers, it's not about stats, it's about families. Families who have been hit hard by gun violence. The hope is that other families don't experience similar tragedies. Toledo police take all kinds of weapons off the street. Some we're told could go through bulletproof vests, police cruisers. Sometimes they're old, sometimes they're military surplus. Those weapons could be in the hands of convicted felons. Sometimes those weapons are used in a crime, crimes that can shatter families, crimes that at some points can result in even children losing their lives.
Think before you react. I know there's a lot of things that push people to the limit, but there's a smarter way and a better way to do a lot of things.
We're going to show you how police track these weapons and how those weapons end up in our community in the first place. Safety in Sight, tomorrow on Action News at 6.
And all new tonight at 11 on 13 ABC. University of Toledo police investigating an attempted robbery at the Barnes & Noble on campus. How officers are trying to track down the thieves.
And crisis concerns how the city of Flint is providing water to those in need during this winter weather. Join us for 13 minutes of nonstop news tonight on 13 ABC Action News at 11.
But first in Action Sports, I'm Steve Slifka at the NFL Combine. Yes, the future is here. But New Browns head coach Hugh Jackson gives yet another clue as to which direction the club is heading with Johnny Manziel.
Emmy Award-winning 13 ABC Action Sports, teaming up with BCSN.
The statement the Browns released at the start of the month about Johnny Manziel's future with the club wasn't clear. New head coach Hugh Jackson went about 99% of the way there about what will happen with Manziel and his future in Cleveland.
His future on our team will be addressed here pretty soon, but let me say this. I think it's really important that obviously there were some people involved in the situation that happened, and I feel very bad about those things as they do happen, but I want to make sure we all understand that that behavior will not be tolerated as we move forward, and that's all I want to say about it. I want to leave it at that. Our organization is going to take a stand, and we're going to move on from those kind of situations as we move forward.
Sure, evaluating players is one of the many things on the mind of new Lions general manager Bob Quinn. So is Calvin Johnson's decision on if, in fact, the wide receiver will return in 16. Quinn says he did talk with CJ, and there is no timetable on Calvin's decision, which, of course, factors into what's happening here at the Combine.
Well, that's something that's going to, take into effect what kind of plans we can do, how flexible we can be with the type of players that we're going to look forward to add in free agency. So that's all part of the puzzle. My job is to put that puzzle together.
Speaking of retirement decisions, this is essentially the house that Peyton Manning built, better known as Lucas Oil Stadium. Broncos coach Gary Kubiak says Peyton has yet to make a retirement decision, but Kubiak and Manning will get together this week to discuss what the future holds for Manning in the NFL. At Lucas Oil Stadium for the NFL Combine, Steve Slifka, 13 ABC Action Sports.
Thank you, Steve. In the NBA tonight, Cavs host the Hornets at 7, Pistons host the Sixers at 7:30. Just down the road from Detroit, Michigan will take on Northwestern at Chrysler. Right now, projections have Michigan as a 10 seed in the NCAA tournament and possibly playing in one of the play-in first 4 games in Dayton. The Wolverines got Northwestern tonight, then to Wisconsin and home against Iowa. Both the UT and BG men picked up wins last night. Can the women do the same tonight? BG's at Buffalo, UT hosts Eastern Michigan. Boys sectional tournament semis continue at 11. We'll have highlights from Anthony Wayne Perrysburg, St. Francis Springfield, Findlay Northview, and Cardinal Stridge Woodmore, plus all the area scores on the ticker. And did you see this? Vanderbilt in Florida, final seconds of the first half, Josh Henderson from 80 feet. He drains it. Take another look. He just chucks it. Low trajectory and all, and he finds a way to get it to go. Impressive shot. Those teams not doing too well, but still. must-see video.
Got that going.
And I covered that kid in high school, Cape Spring
Really?
High School, Roanoke, Virginia.
I have a hunch you didn't shoot him making that
No,
shot.
I did not. That's probably a once-in-a-lifetime
You bet.
shot.
You
Yes.
bet. All right, Justin, thank you. Well, the rain, sleep, turning to snow later tonight.
Jay has the updated track on what you can expect for your area coming up next.
Coming up, the breaking news, my exclusive one-on-one interview with Apple CEO Tim Cook. The first time he talks about Apple's battle with the FBI, why they will not break into that terrorist's iPhone. And we're on the scene of multiple tornadoes, the deadly outbreak next.
Final check here of live Doppler 13,000 HD. All the greens rain. You see that blue and purple lurking. That's going to be moving in throughout the evening, changing over to all snow between 7 and 10 p.m. for most areas. Don't forget, we're on 13abc.com, Facebook and Twitter all evening long. If you have questions, we'll have updates, of course, ongoing. Tonight's low 30, 1 inch to 3 inches possible by morning. Another inch or two for tomorrow, 32, and winds will be gusty from the northwest. Beyond that, pretty quiet Friday into the weekend. A little rain developing there for Monday.
All right, Jay, thank you. And thanks for watching Action News at 6.
Be sure to join us tonight at 11 for 13 minutes of nonstop news. For Lee Conklin, Jay Berschbach, Justin Feldkamp, and all of us, I'm Diane Larson.
When you simply must know, 13 ABC's First Warning Storm Team puts you first.